And we begin today at noon with the beginning phase of the Delphi murders trial. It is finally here. It has been more than 7 years since the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German were found near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi. The trial for suspect Richard Allen begins this week, starting with jury selection. It's taking place in Fort Wayne, and it all started this morning. So here's a look now at the latest mugshot of Richard Allen. This was released very recently. Allen's accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German back in 2017. Now here's what is expected to happen today. The court sent questionnaires to 600 Allen County residents who are being considered for the Delphi jury. That's where the jury's coming from, Allen County. 16 will be selected, 12 jurors and 4 alternates. Both the prosecution and defense teams will get a chance to strike 10 potential jurors for any reason. Others will be dismissed for a variety of reasons. So the process will last up to 3 days. Once that jury is sworn in, they'll be sequestered, which means they will be isolated from the public to prevent being tainted. We'll have full team coverage throughout the trial, and you can get up to speed with the major moments and developments throughout this case. We have our Delphi trial special available right now on demand on our WTHR 24/7 WTHR Plus app. You can download our free app on Apple TV, Fire, Amazon, and Roku. Just search WTHR in your app store. Other headlines now. Metro Police are trying to figure out how a man died overnight downtown near Illinois and Maryland streets, not far from Circle Center Mall. IMPD says they got a call just after 11 last night to check on a man down. When they got there, they found the man dead on the sidewalk with some sort of trauma to his body. Right now, police are gathering evidence and looking for witnesses. They're also looking at surveillance cameras in that area.
Really, this whole block, there's a lot of cameras around here, so right now detectives are trying to watch those cameras and try to figure out what happened leading up to it and what caused the trauma and what happened here.
If you know anything, you're asked to call police. You can also call Crime Stoppers anonymously. We're also working right now to learn more about a person shot and killed on the city's far east side. It happened near 21st and Shadeland Avenue on Roy Road. Police responded to a call just after 12:30 this morning. They say neighbors reported hearing an argument just before hearing gunshots go off. Right now, police say there's no danger to the neighborhood, but they're asking for the public's help to track down the suspect.
No known suspects yet. That's why we're hoping that the door cam video can really provide maybe a vehicle that fled the scene or a person that was seen fleeing the scene. That video is going to be very important. If people can check their cameras in the morning, that'll really help.
The shooting and the death investigation downtown are both ongoing cases. Of course, we'll be following them for updates, and once we get more details into our newsroom, we'll be sure and update you here on 13 News, and as soon as we get it on WTHR.com.
Yeah, it looks like we have some shell casings starting off of right here at Indiana Avenue and 10th Street.
We're also digging for more information on a deadly shooting over the weekend near IU Indy's campus. One person was killed, another hurt. Police are focusing now on their investigation on the area between the Papa John's and Taco Bell on Indiana Avenue, which saw significant damage. Somebody who works at Taco Bell told us everybody inside was okay when the shooting happened, but they were obviously shaken up. Investigators believe this all started as a shootout between two vehicles near the restaurant. A man and woman were both hit with gunshots. Police say the man died at the hospital. We're also working to learn more about the condition of a man shot Sunday morning on Indy's east side. This one happened near North Dearborn Street near East Michigan and LaSalle. Medics rushed the victim to the hospital in critical condition. Right now, police are still trying to piece together what led to that shooting. Anyone with information can call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. That number is 262-TIPS. Happening today, a former Clark County Sheriff, Jamie Knoll, is back in the courtroom. He could learn his fate as early as this afternoon. Knoll pleaded guilty back in August to 27 felony charges. Under the agreement, he'd have to pay back more than $3 million in restitution and serve up to 15 years in prison. The judge says he will not accept that deal until he hears from Knoll's alleged victims. Today, 19 people are signed up to provide impact statements during that hearing. We're also learning of a possible plea deal for his estranged wife and eldest daughter. They've been linked to Noel's massive corruption case. Noel's wife, Misty, is facing 10 felony charges. His daughter, Casey, is also charged. Today, their attorneys are expected to update the judge. Of course, we'll continue to follow that case to our south. And drivers, heads up, start planning now for a big traffic change this week. This is sure to cause some major hurdles for drivers. Part of I-65 is fully closing on the north side. Southbound lanes between West Street and Alabama are going to close tomorrow for bridge and road repairs. That I-65 closure is expected to last more than 2 weeks, 16 days, and scheduled to wrap up October 31st. Now, we had the detours to help you get around it. It's posted right now on WTHR.com/SeenOn13.
Ooh, that's going to be a mess.
It will be challenging.
And wrapping up on Halloween.
Sure, no
this
kidding.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Scary. Certainly going to be scary.
Yeah, exactly. Rob Ellis is here tracking our forecast today. Beautiful, more fall-like.
Yeah, certainly a change from what we've seen. It's only going to be brief, but there's a couple of mornings that we could have. They're going to be on the chilly side, talking frosty temperatures. So gardeners out there, you want to take heed of what we're expecting over the next several days. Let's start with where we are currently. We've seen a lot of cloud cover on this image. I've been watching this video all day. We've seen a lot more cloud cover, but now the sun's starting to peek through. I don't think that trend is going to continue. I actually think we're going to see a lot of this cloud cover come and go through much of the day. The most important number on this graphic, or the most important value, is this north wind at 13. It's been a strong, brisk north or northwest wind. And that's really driving our entire forecast. It's going to keep driving our forecast. It's kept the temperatures today into the 50s. They're probably not going to reach 60 degrees. We are anywhere from about 10 to maybe as much as 20 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday at this time. So the air mass has changed, and that north wind is also driving a little bit of moisture to come in off of the lake. Now, for the most part, it's just going to be the clouds that we've been talking about, but it's possible that an isolated, a small shower chance could stay into our forecast. Highs today into the 50s. Maybe close to 60 degrees, and overnight lows 30s. Yes, 30s and 40s, but this is not the coldest day in the forecast. Dustin, I'll be back with a look at when we could see frost.
We'll see you soon, Rob. Thank you. Right now, Florida continues the massive recovery and rebuilding effort from Hurricane Milton. So far, listen to this, more than 400,000 customers are still without power. Now, that number has dramatically dropped over the past several days. At one point, it topped 3 million customers. Yesterday, President Biden toured the damage in St. Petersburg, of course, the sister city to Tampa. The president promised more than $600 million to restore and upgrade the grid after Hurricanes Helene and Milton just hammered that region. And we've learned Indiana Task Force 1 is now headed back home after weeks of hurricane relief down south. They've been on the job for nearly 3 weeks, first in Florida for Helene, then they went to Georgia, then North Carolina, and finally circled back to Florida to help out most recently with Hurricane Milton. These images you see on your screen right here, they're showing our Hoosier first responders in FEMA rescue boats, rafts, amphibious vehicles. On Saturday alone, they helped with 300 evacuations. Now headed home for some much needed rest. A major honor for Pacers sports and entertainment owner Herb Simon. He is officially part of the Basketball Hall of Fame, enshrined yesterday in Springfield, Massachusetts. Simon is the longest tenured owner in the NBA. He was added under the contributors category, which recognizes owners and executives for their roles in growing the sport. Simon says this is a recognition he never expected.
You know, I've also reflected on someone who's never dunked a ball or shot a three-pointer. How do I wind up getting this tremendous honor?
Congratulations. Simon and his brother Mel purchased the Pacers back in 1983 at a pivotal time when the team was in danger of relocating.